Hello guys, this is type 4 problem, and in this kind of problem you will see two objects, two rigid bodies which are attached to each other, and they are moving on the wall and floor, and they are always in contact with each other. So these kinds of problem has a special method with which they can be solved, and I'll be discussing that method with you. Now in this problem, you can see that there is a rectangular block. This block is attached from the wall from one side, and this edge of the block is attached to the wedge, which is restricted to move on the horizontal floor. So due to the weight of this rectangular block, it will come down, and this wedge will move towards right hand side. So the velocity of the wedge is given to us to be 10 meters per second, and we have to find out the velocity of a rectangular block. Now what are the steps to solve these kind of problems? So here is the first step. You have to identify a fact that the contact between the two moving objects is always intact. I mean to say that they are always in contact with each other throughout the course of their motion. So you can see that at this instant they are in contact with each other, and it will remain in contact till this reaches the floor. Okay, so now we have to find out the velocity of this rectangular block at this instant only, and at this instant, and before this instant, and after that instant, they will remain in contact with each other. So there are two contacts, in fact three contacts. The first contact is this one, which is the most important contact, which is the contact of two blocks. The another contact is the contact of this rectangular block with wall, and the other contact is the contact of this wedge with floor. So the fact which is useful in these kind of problems is the fact that when two rigid bodies are moving in such a way such that they are always in contact with each other, then the component of their velocity along the normal to the contact is equal. What does I mean to say? That when these bodies are moving together in such a way that they are always in contact from this point, then the component of their velocities along the normal to the contact will be equal. And let us demonstrate this step by step, and I'll also prove this fact theoretically, that why this fact is correct. So step 1 is the fact that you have to identify the direction of net velocities of the two blocks. Here in this question the directions are given, but in most of the questions you have to identify the direction of velocities. So this velocity is given to us as 10 meters per second, and we have to identify the direction of the motion of this rectangular block. We can see that this block will always be in contact with the wall, and this block will always be in contact with wedge. And if this block, this rectangular block, moves in x-axis, if it moves in x-axis, then it will lose the contact with the wall if it goes in right direction, and it cannot go in left direction, as wall will restrict it to go towards leftwards. So this block will remain in contact with the wall only in a situation in which it will move only in y-axis downwards. So here is the conclusion, that the velocity of this block is only in y-axis downwards, and downwards is due to the fact that it will go automatically downwards due to its weight, displacing this wedge towards right side. Now this wedge is also in permanent contact with the floor, and it cannot go downwards due to the restrictions of floor, and it cannot go upwards due to the fact that there is no force which is lifting the wedge upwards. So it will move only in x-axis, the wedge, and the rectangular block will move in y-axis. So this is the step 1 in which we have determined the velocities of the two blocks which are in contact with each other. The step 2 is the fact that we have to draw a normal on the contact, which is the contact of the two blocks. So here is the contact of the two blocks, and we have to draw a normal on the contact. So I am drawing a normal to the contact. Normal means perpendicular. So here is the normal drawn to the contact. Now it will be easier to analyze the question if we join these velocity vectors with the normal, like that. This is the velocity of the block. I am writing it as v, and this is the velocity of the wedge. I am writing it as 10 meters per second. Now the third step says that we have to resolve these velocities on the normal to the contact. So the component of these velocities will be, we have to identify the angles. First of all, this angle is 30 degree and this angle will be 90, that's 60 degree, and okay, sorry for the interruption. Yeah, so this angle will be 30 degree. Okay, so the components of these two velocities will be 10 cos 60 degree, and the component of v will be v cos 30 degree. So the fact is that these components will be equal to each other, and it is also correct because if you imagine a situation, if v cos 30 will be greater than 10 cos 60, it will mean that this rectangular block is moving faster along the normal as compared to the wedge. And if this rectangular block is moving faster along the normal downwards, then it will dig a hole in the wedge. But it is not the case. And if that wedge is moving faster, then 10 cos 60 degree will be greater than v cos 30 degree. And if the wedge will move faster on the normal, then this contact will no longer exist. So this is also not the case. So the correct case in this question is the fact that these two components are equal to each other. So we can say that v cos 30 is equal to 10 cos 60. Okay, so v into cos 30 is root 3 by 2 and 10 into cos 60 is 1 by 2. So v will be equal to 10 upon root 3 meters per second. This is the required velocity of the rectangular block in downward direction. Okay, now we move on the next problem. Now in this problem we can see that there is a inclined plane which is placed on the floor, and there is a rod which is restricted between two vertical walls. You can see this and this are walls, vertical walls, and they are restricting the rod to move in x-axis. So the rod will only move in y-axis due to its weight, and when the rod is released, that it is moving downwards. We have identified the velocity of the rod and as the wedge is restricted to move only in x-axis, so it is moving in x-axis towards the left hand side with a velocity of 10 meters per second. This angle is 60 degree. Now we have to find out the velocity of the rod, and again I'm reminding you the fact that when two rigid bodies are moving in such a way such that they are always in contact with each other, then the component of their velocity along the normal to the contact will be equal. So what were the three steps which we were following to solve these kind of problems? So first step is the identification of the directions of the velocity, which we have identified already, or it is given in the problem itself. And the second step is the identification of the contacts and drawing of the normal. So we have identified the contact, and we have to just identify that contact which is between these two moving objects. So this is the important contact, and we have to draw the normal to this contact only. So we are drawing a normal to this contact. So it will be like that. This is the normal. And for simplification of the problem, we are drawing the direction of velocities again. V is this, and 10 meters per second is this. This is 10 meters per second. Okay. Now we have to, the third step says that we have to resolve the velocities along the normal, and we have to equate these velocities to each other. And for resolving these velocities, we can see that this angle is 60 degree, this angle is 30 degree, and this angle is 60 degree again. So the components will be as followed, that the component of V will be V cos 60, and the component of 10 meters per second will be 10 cos 30. Again, we have to equate these two components, and 10 cos 30 will be equal to V cos 60. Now 10 into cos 30 is root 3 by 2, and V cos 60 is 1 by 2, and V will be equal to 10 root 3 here. So this is the required downward velocity of the rod when it is restricted to move only in y-axis, and the wedge is restricted to move only in x-axis. So let's move forward on the next question. In this question, again we can see that this rod is restricted between these two walls to move downwards like that, and this inclined plane is restricted by the floor to move only in right direction. So we have to find out this velocity V of the rod. So step 1 is itself done, that we have to identify the direction of velocities, and the directions are given in the problem itself. And step 2 is the fact that we have to draw out the normal to the contact between the two moving objects. So this will be the normal. Now we have to draw the directions of velocities, velocity vectors joining this normal. So the velocity vector V of the rod will be along the normal itself. This is V. Okay, you can see that the velocity V is already on the normal, and we have to join this velocity of 10 meters per second with the normal. So we have to identify the angles, correct angles, and see. So this angle is 30 degree. This will be 30, and this angle will be 60 degree. And this will be 30 again. So as we can see that the velocity vector of the rod is already along the normal, so we do not need to resolve it further, and we have to resolve just this velocity vector of 10 meters per second. So we are resolving it and we are writing its equation that its component along the normal will be 10 cos 60 degree. So V will be equal to 10 cos 60 degree, and V will be equal to 10 by 2, cos 60 is half, so it will be 5 meters per second. Okay, so this is the answer, correct answer. So let's move forward on the next question. Now in this kind of same problem, again we have to find out the velocity of this ball, and we are applying the 3 steps which we have already discussed in previous problems. The first step is the direction, identification of the directions of the velocities of the objects, and the first it is already given in the question, and now we are drawing the normal to the contact, moving contact. So the contact, normal to the contact will be like that. Okay, now the third step is to find out the components of velocity of these 2 blocks on the normal and to equate them. So first of all we are drawing the velocity vectors joining the normal and we are resolving these velocities along the normal. So to find the angles, you can see this angle is 60 degree, this angle is 60 degree vertically, opposite angles, and this angle is 30 and this angle is 60. Okay, now this angle is again 30 degree, consecutive angles. So we can see that the component of velocity of V along the normal is V cos 60, and the component of velocity of the wedge along the normal will be 10 cos 30. So we need to equate these components, and we are applying the third step, that V cos 60 is equal to 10 cos 30. So V cos 60 is 1 by 2 and 10 cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So V will be 10 root 3. Okay, now these kind of problems are very simpler to do, and I am demonstrating 2 or 3 more problems such like that, and then we'll move on the next type of questions. So moving on the next problem. Now in this problem, this is a little bit different type of question, in which the first contact, which was either vertical or horizontal, is now tilted with an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal. Now this block is restricted to move along this contact, so it is obvious that the direction of velocity of this block will be in the direction parallel to this contact. In these kind of problems, you have to remember the one thing, that if there is a fixed contact, this is a fixed contact and it is a moving contact. So if there is a fixed contact, then the object which is attached to that fixed contact will always move parallel to that fixed contact. So this fixed contact is at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal, and this block will always move along the parallel direction of this fixed contact. So it is given in the question the direction of velocity, but if it is not stated, then we can assume that the direction will be itself in the direction parallel to the fixed contact. So the direction of velocity will be at this direction, and the contact will be like that. Normal to the contact, I am drawing normal to the contact. So if I draw the normal to an inclined plane whose angle is 30 degree, so its normal would be making an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal. This is a quite obvious thing that that this angle will be 60 degree, and I can prove that this angle is 30 and this angle is 60. So these are vertically opposite angles. So resolving out these velocities along the normal, the velocity of this wedge is like that, and the velocity of this rod is already in the direction of the normal. You can see that. So this velocity will be v, and this angle see, this angle is 60 and this angle is 30. So the component of velocity of wedge along this normal is 10 cos 30. So V will be equal to 10 cos 30. So V is equal to 10 cos 30 is root 3 by 2, and V will be equal to 5 root 3. So this will be the direction of velocity. This will be the value of V of the rod, velocity of the rod. So let us move on the next question. In this question we can see that there is a rod which is hinged from this point, and this rod is lying on this rectangular block, and due to the weight of the rod will slip in the forward direction, as a result of which this block will move in the forward direction towards right side. The velocity with which this block is moving is root 3, and at the instant of time when the angle of rod is 60 degree with the horizontal, we have to find out the velocity of this end of the rod. Now to start this problem, we have to identify a fact that this rod will be moving in a circle whose center will be the hinge point. So this will be the circle and its center will be the hinge point. Okay, now the velocity of tip of the rod at point B will be along the tangential direction to the rod, will be along this. This is the let's suppose this velocity to be VB, and the velocity of that block is this. This is already given as root 3. Now we have to identify the contact. So contact is this. This is the contact, and we have to draw the normal to the contact. So I am drawing the normal, and normal would be like that. This is the normal to the contact. This is normal. Now I have to resolve the velocities of the block and tip of the rod along the normal, and I have to equate them. So I can see that the block is already moving along the normal with velocity root 3, and I have to only resolve out the velocity of rod along the normal and this angle will be 60 and this angle will be 30. So its velocity will be along the normal VB cos 30. So equating these two velocities, VB cos 30 is equal to root 3 and VB cos 30 is root 3 by 2 and this is root 3. So VB will come out to be 2 meters per second. So the correct answer will be option number B. Okay, now we move on the next question. This is a similar kind of problem which we have done in the past, and in this problem the acceleration of block B, wedge B, is given as B, whose value is 2 meters per second square, and we have to find out the acceleration of rod A. Now again we can see that rod A is restricted from the one end to move along the parallel to the wall. So rod A will move in the downward direction. This is the conclusion which we draw from this question. Now we have to draw the normal to the contact, moving contact, and we are drawing that normal. That this is the normal to the moving contact, and the rod is moving downwards. So we are drawing the velocity of rod, in fact the acceleration of rod, and we are assuming it as A. So it is A. Now this angle, this one, this angle is theta and this angle is 90 minus theta. Okay, so this angle will be theta and hence this angle will also be equal to theta. So the components of the accelerations will be that the component of B will be B sine theta and the component of A will be A cos theta. So equating these components, that B sine theta is equal to A cos theta and the value of B is 2 and sine theta is 45 degree. So sine theta is 1 by root 2 and the value of cos 45 is also 1 by root 2. Therefore A will also be equal to 2 meters per second. And I hope that you are not wondering that why I am using this concept in accelerations, although I've used this concept in velocities. So this is a quite easier thing to imagine, that if we are using that concept in velocities and we are writing the equation of velocities, so if we differentiate the velocities with respect to time, then we will get the acceleration. So this is also valid for accelerations at any instant of time. Okay, so let us move forward on the next question. This is a very tough and very interesting problem of type 2, and in this problem there are two spheres which you can see, sphere A and sphere B, and the direction of motion of sphere A is already given and its velocity is given as 9 meters per second, and we can see that the sphere B will move along the parallel direction to the inclined plane, and it is also due to the fact that it is in contact with this rigid and immovable contact. So its velocity will be parallel to this contact also. So let us assume its velocity to be VB. Now we have to draw the normal to the contact, and the normal to the contact will be like that. And if I draw a triangle, so this triangle will be like that. Okay, so I'm drawing this triangle again, amplifying it. This is the triangle I'm talking about, and this velocity of the ball B is Vb, and this velocity of ball A is Va, which is equal to 9. And now we have to find out the dimensions of this triangle to identify the angles. You can see that the radius of ball B is given as 5 and this is given as 17. Okay, so let us suppose that radius of ball is RA. Okay, so the length of this side of the triangle will be 17, this 17 minus RB. RB is 5, so this length will be 12 meters. Okay, now this length of the triangle, so this length will be equal to 19 minus RA. You can see that this complete length is 19 and this is RA, so this will be 19 minus RA. Please see this carefully. And this length will be equal to RA plus RB, and RB is equal to 5, so this length will be equal to RA plus 5. This is RA plus 5. So if I am applying the Pythagoras theorem, so it would be like 12 square will be equal to 19 minus RA whole square plus RA one second, RA plus 5 whole square. Okay, so I'm applying again that hypotenuse is RA plus 5 whole square and it is equal to 19 minus RA whole square plus 12 whole square. So it is RA square plus 25 plus 10 RA. It is equal to square of 19 is 361 plus RA square minus 38 RA plus 144. Cancelling out RA square, and 48 RA is equal to 361 plus 144 minus 25. So it is 48 RA is equal to 480 and RA is equal to 10. So this is the required radius of ball A. And now we have to resolve the velocities along the normal, and the normal is this one. This is the normal. So this angle, let's suppose this angle is theta and this angle is 90 minus theta. So the components will be, the component of VA will be VA cos theta will be equal to VB sin theta, and VA is 9, and let us suppose it as, let us move this cos theta towards right hand side, and VB we have to find out, and it is tan theta. Now the value of tan theta is perpendicular upon base. So VB will be equal to 9 upon tan theta. Now tan theta, you can see that perpendicular is 19 minus RA, and RA is 10, so it is 9, and base is 12, so 9 upon 12 will be 3 upon 4, and 9 upon 3 upon 4, so VB will come out to be 12 meters per second. So the correct answer will be option number B. Okay guys, so this was the last question of these kind of problems, and now moving further, we'll move on type, in fact I think type 4 or type 5, in which we will do the rope problems. Okay, thank you, bye bye.